Okay, this is the second video in my series of baking in my contact griddle using silicone egg rings, pancake rings, and any kind of other ring I can get. Right now I'm weighing the cookies up to make sure they're 1.3 ounces. In a previous video, I explained how I bought a Yedi Houseware 6-in-1 digital contact griddle, Panini Waffle Maker, Sandwich Maker. This unit came with 2 egg rings, and because it's so hot now in the summertime, it's 95 to 99 degrees in the daytime, around 85 degrees at 10 p.m. at night. Normally I bake at night because it's so hot in the daytime. So I decided to try to make cookies using the 2 egg rings that came with the machine, and that was successful, so I put that video up. This video is a continuation of that video, in which I'm using Nestle Toll House chocolate chip cookies, which I'm going to make using egg rings. And as you can see, I've weighed the cookies up 1.3 ounces each, and then I press them down so that they're less than 3/4 of an inch tall. And as you can see here, these are the egg rings. They're on a used Prego jar, because this Prego jar is actually the same diameter of the egg rings. So I use this Prego jar as a means of storing the egg rings so that they don't deform and they maintain their shape. The machine came with 2 egg rings, and I measured the dimensions of the grates, and I realized I could put 6 of them on a griddle grate, which you see here, these flat ones. So I bought 4 more of them. And as you can see, I'm buttering the grates up now, which is not the way I normally butter things up now. This was a test video. It was not originally intended for YouTube. This was my own personal video. So it doesn't have, lighting and all that stuff. It's just a video I make for myself to see what I'm doing. And the only reason I'm putting these videos up right now is because I was successful at baking and making regular baked goods in this contact griddle. When I say regular, I mean that the cookies were not waffled. I didn't bake them between the plates and have a double bottomed cookie. I actually made regular oven type cookies, and you will see that at the end of the video you'll see the result. And that's the Prego jar, and these are the egg rings. This griddle plate on this Yedi Houseware Griddler, basically, it's 12.7 inches across and 8.8 inches deep. So these egg rings are about 4 inches in diameter, so I just need 12 across. It's 12.7. I need 8 deep. It's 8.8. So big enough for 6 rings. I can't say that your unit may be that big, but you just have to do measurements to see what's going on. And when I put the egg rings in order to maximize the space for the rings, I put the rings on, as you can see, with the handles sticking out over the outer lip of the griddle plates. And you can see it's a tight squeeze, but I can get 6 of them in there. And these have to sit flat, because if they're not flat, they will not create the seal. You need to have them sealed top and bottom so that the moisture inside of your baked goods, which in this case is these Nestle Toll House chocolate chip cookies, you want them to steam, basically. And as the steam comes out, it forms the structure of the cookie. And these are the directions: 350 degrees for 12 to 13 minutes, or 350 at high altitude for 10 to 11 minutes, which doesn't really matter because we're not using an oven. So, but those are the directions, and once again I use the directions as a means of giving myself a guideline as to basically, it's like a beginning point. Now that the unit is heated up, I place the cookies that I've weighed and flattened. Remember, each one of these is 1.3 ounces, which is what I determined to be the perfect size for a cookie inside of these egg rings. They don't get too big in diameter. They're not too flat, not too thick. they come out as perfect as they can be for being, you know, baked in a contact griddle. So this is, once again, Yedi Houseware Contact Griddle Digital 6-in-1. I was going to get a Cuisinart, but the original idea was to get a Waffle Maker. The Cuisinarts did not have a waffle plates, so I got this one instead, and I'm glad I did, because it came with 2 egg rings, and of course that was the basis for this entire idea for this series. And every other video and every other thing I bake came from that fact. I had never used egg rings before, and after getting this machine, I of course used them for eggs and pancakes and stuff like that, but I love to bake. And as you can see, after the first go around baking these, I added 2 more minutes to the cooking time because I wasn't sure if they were done. Of course, like I said, this was my first time making chocolate chip cookies in this machine using this egg ring hack that I figured out. I looked for videos on how to make cookies in a contact griddle, and I basically came up with nothing except people who would griddle them and things like that. That's not the best thing to do because it would give you a cookie with a double bottom, and I didn't want a double bottom cookie. I wanted cookies that were just like what they would be if you cook them in an oven. So, and that's what I got here. These cookies are as close to oven quality as you can get for being cooked in a contact griddle, panini maker, sandwich maker, waffle maker, grill, basically a contact griddle machine or contact grill. So as you can see, this video is a success, which is why I put it up. I've made YouTube videos before with the lights and made it look all nice, but the success of these cookies literally forced me to put this up. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people out there who would love to know how to do this, and this whole video is showing you just how to do this. Like I said, I don't know how big your machine is and how many egg rings you can get on it, but make the measurements. Look at the rings. These rings are from Yedi Houseware. I have large rings from Large. The yellow ones, they work too. I did order some Yum Yums, but they were out of them, so I ended up going back to Yedi Houseware, and I'm happy I did because, of course, they came with the machine. So here we go again. This is another batch of cookies. So, yeah, this is pretty awesome. Once again, make sure the handles are out over the edge so that you can get as many rings on the plates as possible. I'm not showing you a recipe. I guess you could put any cookie recipe in here that you want to be round and less than 3.5 inches in diameter. So this time I'm not going to add time to it. I just put 12 minutes in and I'm going to let them go. You can see the brown bottoms. You can see how thick they are. 1.3 ounce cookies. Nestle Toll House chocolate chip cookies. Regular cookies that you can buy in the supermarket. Nothing special. No kind of special recipe for this contact griddle. You can see some of the rings are different colors. The ones that come with the machines are the best and the whitest. The extra ones they give you are the ones that are not as white, which makes sense. You put the best ones with the product. So as you can see, I'm taking the rings off. It's literally that simple. I'm so glad I bought this machine, and it came with the rings, Had it not come with the rings, I never would have had the idea to try to do this. Once again, just like that, in a short amount of time, a dozen cookies. A dozen regular cookies. Nestle Toll House chocolate chip cookies. As you can see, I'm putting the cookies on a metal cooling rack, which is the best way to put things out of this machine, especially waffles, because they're steaming. And if you put waffles on a plate or something, you're going to get a wet spot on them. So here it is, from beginning to end, a dozen cookies in a contact griddle. Who would have thought? Yedi Houseware 6-in-1 digital contact griddle. Nestle Toll House chocolate chip cookies. Thanks for watching.